everybody. Welcome to Mrs. Parkin's math class. Super duper excited about this year. It's going to be amazing. But first, I would like to do a quick introduction because we are super lucky to be having a guest teacher throughout this whole year, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Jennifer Wilson. My students also attend Montecito School District, so I'm super excited to be working with Mrs. Parkins this year.
All right, so with that being said, let's just go ahead and take you kind of on a quick tour of what the students will be doing during class. So here we go. All right, so this is kind of what the students have already gone through. And so I wanted to share it with you guys. And please remember that if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, that you just need to shoot me an email, and then we can take care of whatever question that you might have. So welcome back. So here we go. I have three simple rules that we follow in this classroom, and it's be here, be cool, and take care of business. So the be here, the main thing that I talk to the students about is not only be here physically, but also be here mentally. Because if they come to class and they're kind of zoned off, it's hard to make sure that they understand whatever math concept that we have gone through. But unfortunately, because of where we are in the world right now, I totally understand if they're not able to be here physically. Because maybe they aren't feeling the best. So not a problem at all. If your students have shared with you, I always post on Google Classroom. And so if they aren't able to be in class, that is their go-to. And we'll talk about Google Classroom in just a little bit. But like I said, the first rule I have is just to make sure that they're here, they're paying attention, and they're ready to learn. Okay, so the next one is be cool. And basically that's in this class, I make mistakes all the time. Other students will make mistakes. And so we just need to be cool with each other. Sometimes we're going to work independently. Sometimes we work collaboratively. No matter where you're working, we just need to make sure that we're very respectful of everybody in the classroom. The other thing that we need to be respectful of is our desks and all of the material that we have in class. I have a classroom set of Chromebooks, and they have to last us through the whole year. So I need to make sure that we're really cool when we use those Chromebooks. And the last most important rule for these students is they have got to take care of business. And so, all right, so it's super duper important for them to take care of business. Now, all of my students have joined my Google Classroom. And like I have shared with them, Google Classroom is so very important. And I'll show you what a daily look like for Google Classroom looks like. So this is an example of what Google Classroom looks like. So if you take a look, every day, I will post what we do in class, and it's pretty specific. It will tell you the date and what we do in class. The other thing, if we do a worksheet in class, that will be found up here in classwork. And it shows what the assignment is and how many have turned it in. And I have my Zoom link also attached in here. So Google Classroom is very important. If your student is going to be gone, instead of waiting till the next day to come back and say, oh, Mrs. Parkin, what did we do? It's super important that they check Google Classroom. That way they're up to date with what we have covered during the day that they missed. So the next thing that I really want to focus on is Skyward. Skyward for 7th graders is a lot different than Skyward was for 6th graders. Because what the students will find is that I post all of their assignments. So this is where you go to see what their grade is. And I highly recommend that you pick a day of the week and you check their Skyward. That way, if there's any missing assignments or zeros or anything that you're a little confused about, you send me a message right away so we can get it taken care of. But Skyward is definitely a place where their overall grade is posted and that they need to make sure that they check all the time. Homework. Now, because we are in a 70-minute period, I am hoping that they're not going to have a lot of homework. Yes, there will be days that they have to do something at home, but for the most part, I'm hoping that they'll be able to finish everything that's assigned during class. That way, if they have any questions, they can get help on it from me. The other thing is they need to make sure that they're taking notes in class and participating with whatever we're talking about. And then please ask questions. All right, if they're struggling, they need to make sure that they ask questions so that we can work together to help them understand it so much more. And then, of course, last but not least, they have to try their best. So Google Classroom, like I said, most all students are already part of the Google Classroom. So if you want to take a look at what it looks like, you can ask your student to look at it. Also, I have a 9th grader and I'm signed up under the parent part of it. And so every day I get kind of a summary of what happened in class. And so it's very helpful for me to keep on track of what they're doing as well. So if you want to be added, some of you might be already added to it, but if you want to be added, just shoot me an email and I can add your email address to that. The next thing is, like I said, Skyward, please try to check that on a regular basis. That way we can address any issues before it gets too far gone. So pretty much the classroom schedule, well, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going back. I know that, you know, these poor kiddos have missed quite a bit of school. So we're definitely going to be addressing any maybe holes that in their math skills that they might have. And we're going to be covering a lot of 7th grade standards as well. So we do have kind of a busy year ahead of us. And in order to do all this, we're definitely going to be using our program called iReady. And that iReady will definitely help us fill any gaps that we might have, as well as challenge the students. So iReady and Ready Math is the curriculum that we'll be using this year. Grading is based off of points, so it's a point value. So you will see classwork that is part of their grade, homework. Their quizzes are 2 times whatever the value is. So if a quiz is like 6 points, it will be worth 12 points in the grade book. Tests are going to be 3 times the value. So obviously tests and quizzes are weighted a lot heavier than just your normal classwork and homework. Projects will also be 3 times what the value is. Please, and don't wait to ask. If you have questions or if your student asks questions, please ask right away. And if they need to come in and get extra help, I'm available most mornings and then a lot of the times after school. But it's really important that if your child wants help, that they ask me ahead of time so I can make sure that I don't have a meeting or something going on. So definitely make sure that they are asking questions. Cell phones, I have a cell phone holder. Their cell phones are still in the classroom, but they're up and out of the way so that way they can completely focus on the math. I have, like I said, a whole set of Chromebooks, and so if they ever do need to look anything up, I have technology available to them. Supplies, we kind of already talked about it. Pencils. A spiral notebook is going to be important as we get into things, and then notebook paper. There are optional things, but I provide all of those in class so that they don't have to get those on their own. So common questions that I want to go through. Do you accept late work? And really, I got to be honest, it's really on a case-to-case basis. Obviously, if an assignment was assigned on September 1st, and they try to turn it in October 1st, that's probably not going to happen because it's almost over a month late. And so we've already gone through those concepts. But definitely, I'm a person that I want the students to be able to learn, and and for me to be able to assess their learning, I need to see their work. And so I'm very open to turning in late work. Please be patient. If a student is absent and their assignment is absent in Skyward, please be patient. It normally takes a good week for me to get to those type of assignments instead of just the daily assignments. Also, what you need to know is this: if your student is absent, you'll see a 0 put in the grade book with a comment of absent next to it. The reason why I do that is it's a good reminder when you see that big old 0 in the grade book, it's a reminder for those students to get it turned in. All right, that way their grade is the most accurate that it can be. So like I said, just make sure that if they have an absent assignment, give me about a week before I can get it corrected and turned into Skyward. And do I allow late work or redo work? Oh, yes, 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 and yes, some more. Even quizzes and tests. Now, when we get to quizzes and tests, the redo is a little bit different. They have to fill out some paperwork to show me that they actually tried to remediate what they didn't understand before I just let them retake it. But yes, I highly encourage all of the students to redo their work. And basically, I have a few favorite resources. Khan Academy is definitely one of my most favorite because it has everything that you might need. iReady is going to be a huge resource for us. And Google, like I told the students, if you're struggling on adding decimals and you just type in Google adding decimals, there are a ton of resources that will pop up that will help them. And that is about it. So please remember, here is my my Gmail account. It's dparkin@Monty Schools. This is rather large. Let me see if I can make it a little smaller to fit. At Monty Schools.org. Okay, so please, if you ever have any questions, email is definitely the best way to get a hold of me and get a response back. You can call the office and they can transfer you to my voicemail, and I can get back to you that way. But again, probably the best way is just to send me an email. But I'm super looking forward to working with all these kids. The first week has gone by amazing. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the quarter with them. The one thing with our curriculum, they will be taking home books eventually. Those books they can write in them. So they're consumable books, which means that they're going to have everything that they need right within there. They'll be taking notes in there. Their homework will be in there. So those books you might see those books come home sometime. So I'm again looking forward to this year, and we hope to talk to you soon. Thank you very much.